I've said it before, and I'll say it again, invest. Invest in your relationship. Wherever you want to see growth, that is where you need to put your investment. Investing of your time, investing of your resources, and yes, investing money if necessary. Invest in your marriage. Read that book together on marriage. Go to that conference together. Pay for a coach or a counselor to walk beside you and help you figure things out. Invest in what you want. Do you want to have a beautiful, thriving marriage? Invest in it. Be intentional. Some things that could get in the way, some roadblocks you might experience when you're trying to build this intimacy with each other. Obviously, time. Time is a premium for everybody. We need to make sure that we schedule certain times. That's part of being intentional. If it isn't on the calendar, it probably isn't going to happen. So make sure that you're intentional with your time so that things don't just pass you by. A lot of times it's easy to put your spouse on the back burner and say that I'll work on this relationship when I have more time. But by then you might find that you have had a big drift. So be intentional about the person that you love and making time for them. Another thing that kind of relates to time actually is our job. Are we putting too much of ourselves and our time into our job? I understand, especially as a man, they want to be a good provider. And I admire that very much. But there needs to be limits. There needs to be boundaries because you're not a single guy. You have a wife. She needs you too. And eventually maybe children. So as a man and even as a woman, there's those lady bosses out there that think they can do it all, but they end up overworked, emotionally drained, and just not who they want to be. So make sure you're guarding the amount of time and energy you're putting into your work. There may be different styles that a husband and a wife like to approach God. I know many men love or feel close to God when they're outside. That's why you've got so many hunters and fishermen. Even golfing gives you an opportunity to be out in God's glorious creation. Women may not understand that. Why does he always want to go camping? What is it that he wants to spend every weekend on the golf course or he's out fishing all the time? That may be his way of just relaxing in the presence of God. We might have a different style. Maybe as a woman, you love spending time journaling. And just because your husband is not writing out his thoughts and prayers all the time, doesn't mean he doesn't have a relationship with God. So give each other grace for the way that you each want to relate to him. And maybe find some common ways that you both enjoy relating to God. Of course, going to church together is an excellent way to bond spiritually. So what are some of the benefits from connecting spiritually? Well, obviously, it's going to help you focus on God and his ways, right? There's also, believe it or not, it's going to increase the compatibility that you and your spouse have with each other. Spiritually, you're going to have more in common when you focus on that spiritual intimacy. It's just a powerful statement of love to each other. Praying together is one of the most intimate acts that anyone can have together. So with anything you want to get good at, there's some foundational principles that you should follow, some guidelines, some help that will keep you on track to growing spiritually with each other. You should have an idea of what you want. You should have that end in mind. I want my family to be walking with God. I want generations to know him. When you have those big picture goals in mind, it will be easier to understand why you're doing what you're doing on the day-to-day basis. And from that, idea or vision, you also need to come up with a game plan. How are we going to get there? And this is something that you should be able to discuss with your spouse and come up with some ideas of what are some things we can do right now to get us closer to that goal of drawing our family to Him.